Harry, this is Lord Potato, and this is What If Naruto decided to only train in Taijutsu Part, 7, the end of this What If. Now you're probably wondering, what do you mean end? Wait, what? Yes, I'm going to end it off in this Part 7. It's probably going to be 1 hour long, however many minutes I have to do it, but yeah. I want to end off the series in, such a big bang, but not the point. Because I want to start on my 2.5k special. Yes, you're probably wondering, wait, you're already at 2.6. Shh, shut up. No, that's a 5. It clearly is a 5. Ignore the 6, okay? But other than that, go subscribe to my sensei. I kind of go over to what ups. The links will be in the description. But other than that, let's begin into this what if. So we go into Naruto. After Naruto and battle finished their opponents, the next person that kind of went up was Sanjin Lee versus someone named Shoroi. Now, of course, Shoroi was fighting against Sanjin Lee, and of course, this is where Sanjin Lee actually awoke in something. One of her eyes was, I should mention that Sanjin Lee never had, one of her eyes kind of open. Always had them kind of closed. You see here, she had purple eyes, but one she has an eye patch. This is where she takes off the eye patch and unlocks the red eye mostly. Because, yeah. This is where, Shoroi was almost about to defeat Sanjin Lee until Sanjin Lee had to use that mode. This is where, she kind of transformed into the Pandora Nightmare, to that kind of form and all that, to what she looks like right here. Of course, the reason why Shoroi was kind of using that, not curse energy, mostly sage energy, like going to sage mode. Yes, because she is kind of the white snake, white snake sage daughter or something like that. Which, yeah, she was. So, yeah. Of course, she's only on OC, but yeah, not in Naruto. But let me shut up and go back into the water. But yeah, she was going against Sanjin Lee. Of course, Sanjin Lee decides to kind of use one of her sealing abilities because, yes, in this power form, she can actually seal someone's abilities. So, of course, she sealed off Shoroi's abilities and then just started fighting her in Taijutsu. This is where Shoroi realized that she can't use any more Sage mode, White Snake Sage mode, and of course she gets defeated in an instant. Of course, the seal was released from her, but yeah. That's the only time, Sanjin Lee is actually going to use Sage mode instead of, not Sage mode. Or not Sage mode, the mode mostly, but yeah. Of course, this is where, Sanjin Lee did that, and of course, this is where Shoroi lost. This is where the next match was Hawking versus Samui. Samui would actually manage to defeat Hawking because Hawking tried to use Ice Cell, and Ice Cell is kind of like a water mixed with wind style, meaning that water is actually kind of very ineffective against lightning, and lightning managed to defeat her. This is where Hawking was sad, but this is where Sanjin Lee kind of smiled at her and telling that she did good. Next was, Sayana versus someone from the Rain Village. Now, there was this purple-haired girl with blue and red highlights. Of course, this is where, she sent chains and paper, she sent kind of these chains that she came out of her arm, and also paper shurikens at, Sayana. Sayana dodged, and of course, she pulls out her sword. She actually finally pulls it out after a few times she only pulls it out. But this is where she pulls it out and adds more chopper to unlock a form that, is called false water stream sword. So yeah, that's what it's called. Of course, where, Sayana tries to cut through the papers and also the, chains. Seeing that she can easily cut through everything, this is where she rushes at, this girl. Now, this girl is named, what's it called? Her name is Koni, and of course, Koni Uzumaki, and of course, is where she was about to lose until she made so many paper out of her body and say, Kai, because yes, there was explosion tags on it. This is where Sayana had to slash at around her, saying warping water stream slashes. This is where, well, a kind of like this water effect from the sword started appearing. Of course, she managed to slash through almost all the papers that are around her. But of course, the explosion still happens. And of course, Conan thought that she won. This is where she's kind of tired. Of course, she having wings come from behind her. Mostly like paper wings, like Conan. Because this girl is actually the daughter of Nagato and Conan, Conan. So, of course, this is where she's thinking that she managed to win. Of course, this is where, well, Sayana still appears. But of course, this is where, well, her sword is back to her normal kind of, well, steel sword with the bluish and pinkish handle. But yeah, I think that's what I mentioned. Is it where, well, she's out of chakra because that mode does take a lot of chakra. And of course, this is where she tries to slash at Conan. This is where Conan realized that she's still not out. And this is where Conan tried to make chains. But of course, when she used the chains and they got cut down pretty easily, the chains take so much chakra. So of course, this is where she lost. And of course, this is where she actually gives up. She couldn't continue. Of course, this is where Sayana wins. And of course, she actually passes out. This is where Battle appears grabbing her. But yeah, saying you did good. This is where Sayana says, I guess you're gonna have to heal me. This is where Battle says, I don't think he really wants that. This is where Sayana says, probably, you're right. This is where, well, there's other matches like Sasuke. Well, Sasuke kind of went against some people. But of course, this is where Sasuke went against a sand ninja that's cannon fodder. Of course, this is where, well, other people, yeah. Kankuro went against no one, but yeah. Of course, this is where we kind of go into, well, Hiruzen kind of saying, okay, so, it's going to be 1 month later until you all go into the final training exam. Whichever person you got to fight, you will fight them in different rounds. And whoever wins, go into the final round. Now, of course, Hiruzen said, also, we want you to all train and get stronger and actually use different more abilities. Your Kagis, your, daimyo, so your other people, noble people will be there. So show them what the power of your different villages has to offer. This is where a bunch of people are nodding. And of course, this is where the first match, it is none other than Garu, well, mostly Morty Garu, Morty Garu versus Baru. This is where everyone, they say, huh? This is where Hiruzen widen his eyes and say, oh, fuck. This is where Anko says, ah, shit. Everyone that's like Chuni says, and Ambu that was there, they're like, oh, shit. Of course, this is where, well, so many people were like, uh-huh. This is where Sanjin Lee, it was the next match. Sanjin Lee versus Henata Hyuga. Yes, Hinata managed to defeat her opponent to go on to the next match. It wasn't Neji, so of course it was easy for her to defeat Sasuke, so yeah. Of course, this is where Sanjin Lee says, who? This is where Hinata says, well, Hinata isn't shy in this one. She actually became more ruthless instead of like shyness. And she says, me, bitch. This is where Sanjin Lee goes, huh? Oh, you're saying something, Hyuga? I didn't notice you. Maybe because I don't care. This is where Hinata gets a tick mark, but yeah. This is where, well, the reason why Hinata is kind of more ruthless and all that is because the fact that, well, she didn't get to be on the team with Naruto, but Sanjin Lee did. And of course, this is where she trained her body so Naruto can actually one day look at her and they would get married. Mostly that's what she's thinking, but yeah. This is where, well, she kind of looks like Hinata and what's it called, you know, in that filler arc. Or, yeah, not the filler arc. The filler episode where Naruto and, I guess, Sasuke was thrown into another, not Naruto or Sasuke. Mostly it was Tenten that was thrown into another dimension. There was Menma instead of being Naruto, who had blonde hair. And of course there's Hinata that was mostly, how should I say, arrogant and lustful for Menma, I guess. But yeah. And of course she was very ruthless, but yeah. Of course we were, well, both Hinata and Sanjin Lee are glaring at each other, but yeah. Of course we were, well, What's it called? The next match is Sayana versus Tamari. Of course, then there's the next matches and next matches, and yeah. Now, of course, Shikamaru was going against Gara, and this is what Shikamaru says, oh, hell nah. This is where, well, Choshi was going against Shino and other people, but yeah. Of course, this is where, well, we go into a 1 month. Of course, Naruto, what he only did is train in Taijutsu with Might Guy. So, of course, Might Guy decides to train Naruto in Taijutsu. Nothing but Taijutsu. And since Naruto has that seal that he has in his stomach, it doesn't really matter. He does not use chakra at all. But of course, when he started using the 8 gates, this is where the seal tag was actually breaking. Since Naruto's power is overwhelming, it would start breaking the 5 element seal. When Naruto actually used the 6 gate, this is where the seal broke, and of course the 6 gates also exploded with power. This is where Might Guy widened his eyes, and this was during the 3rd week, so yeah. I should also mention Jiraiya. Jiraiya was still kind of, he tried to ask, well, Hiruzen where Naruto will be at. Of course, Hiruzen says, you do not need to train him, Jiraiya. That's where Jiraiya says, what do you mean? The boy does not want to train anything other than Taijutsu, and that's why Might Guy has training with him. This is where Jiraiya says, what? Why? Because he's saying that Taijutsu is the best and the strongest out of all the other jutsus, or all the other like techniques and other things like that. This is where Jiraiya says, insolent boy, what the hell is he thinking? Hiruzen says, Jiraiya, I don't think you even want to tell him that, since he's the fact that he killed Orochimaru, an S-rank ninja. Another S-rank ninja named Kankuro broke a lot of people's backs and his bones, and also defeated almost the entire Leaf Village, well, shinobis by using Taijutsu. So I suggest you don't want to ever, like, piss off Garu. Jiraiya says, huh? Holy shit, you must be kidding to me. You must be joking, Hiruzen. I know you're old, but that's why Hiruzen says, I'm dead ass telling you this, because Naruto's terrifying. His power is way too terrifying. But yeah, this is where Jiraiya says, also, why the hell is his name Garu? His name is Garu because he is Garu. Now, don't piss him off and shoot, get out of here. And this is where, well, Jiraiya goes, huh? What? Like I said, Jiraiya, shoot. I'm trying to read my book. This is where Jiraiya says, but where is he now? Probably somewhere at Might Guy's training ground, okay? I don't know. This is where power exploded. This is where, well, Jiraiya ran towards to see what it is. And this is where, when he gets there, he just sees Naruto wearing a green tank top, kind of white pants, and like green sandals. And yes, Naruto exploded power, and that kind of green shirt was torn off a little bit. This is where Naruto is showing off his muscles. Of course, he was in the 6th gate. Of course, this is where Might Guy says, that is good, Garu. It seems with your power of youth, you managed to unlock the 6th gate in only 3 weeks. Since the last time I saw you, were only managing to unlock 3 gates, but now 6 gates. That is good. Doesn't work, well, Jiraiya widened his eyes, seeing the 6th gate just flowing its power around Naruto. That's where Naruto says, so, Might Guy, training? Well, a little spar to see who's strong right now? This is where Might Guy says, exactly. With our power of youth, let's see who's stronger. This is where Might Guy says, 6th gate of, 6th gate of view. This is where, well, Might Guy goes into the 6th gate also and rushes at, well, Garu. They start kind of punching, throwing hits and all that. This is where Might Guy says, Tiger Punch! This is where, well, not Tiger Punch. He says, what's called Cheetah Barrage. And this is where multiple punches were going very fast at Naruto. This is where Naruto says, flowing, what's it called? Naruto says, fist of flowing water, crush rock, and fist of warping wind, slashing steel. This is where their attacks started just clashing, and of course Naruto is deflecting but also attacking, well, Might Guy. my guy is doing attacks left and right, and of course this is where he kicks at Naruto, saying leopard kick. This is where he tries to kick at Naruto in like the stomach. This is where Naruto dodges by twisting his body and then hitting my guy with the elbow in the face. This is where my guy gets pushed back, and this is where, well, he stands his ground. Of course, he was pushed back, and of course, the ground underneath his feet was getting pushed backwards also because, yes. This is where my guy says, with that power of youth, young Naruto, or not young Naruto, young Garu, it seems, your power still is growing and growing. Now, come on, Garu. Let's see how much power you have. That's where Naruto nodded, rushes at my guy. They still fighting, kicking, clashing. This is where Rock Lee has crutches because yes, he was still hurt, extremely hurt. Of course, he is kind of doing push-ups without his legs, but mostly doing push-ups with his arm. But yeah, like stand-up hand. But yeah, this is where Naruto says, "Fist of exploding the heart liberation." This is where he hits my guy twice, and this is where my guy says, This is where he sends a kick at Naruto with his left leg, kicking Naruto in the head, and of course this is where Naruto was launched into trees. This is where Jiraiya wiped his eyes, seeing this fight of beasts, and not just because, well, my guy is called the green beast. What is it called, the green beast? Yeah, the green beast of Konoha. But yeah, of course that's not the reason why. But he's seeing Naruto enjoying this battle. Now Naruto's hair is like white, but also black. This is where Naruto says, "Let's see who keeps fighting." This is where Naruto pulls out the staff, and of course this is where he's extended. And of course this is where my guy pulls out nunchucks and says, "Let's see who is stronger." Naruto, well, not Naruto, Garu, Morty. This is where, well, both Naruto are clashing with weapons. Well, not Naruto and Might Guy. Of course, this is where Might Guy is using his nunchucks because, yes, he has two of them. Of course, this is where Naruto is clashing with the staff. Of course, this is where he's shrinking it and also expanding it and, well, also extending it. But, yeah, this is where, well, he keeps trying to fight against Might Guy. Now, Might Guy and Naruto are clashing in thin air. Yes, because they can jump so high and clash in thin air. This is where Jiraiya wiped his eyes and seeing Naruto. Taijutsu is at the level almost strong as Might Guy. Well, even more than Might Guy, it seems like. But yeah. This is where Naruto, he tries to kick at Might Guy, and Might Guy dodges. This is where Might Guy throws a strong uppercut towards Naruto, managing to hit Naruto in the chin, sending him up more in the air. This is where Naruto, he expanded, the staff. This is where he hits the ground. He managed to use it as kind of, well, somewhat to get back to the ground instead of crashing down. And this is where he then jumps from the ground. He's telling the staff to expand, of course, hitting the ground and launching him forward towards, well, Might Guy. This is where Might Guy says, "What?" He gets hit in the stomach. This is where Might Guy says, He smiles. This is where he tries to kick at Naruto in midair. This is where Naruto saw the kick, and this is where he tries to like twist midair. And this is where he grabs, well, Might Guy from the shirt and throws him down, or mostly jacket. This is where Might Guy gets slammed to the ground. Of course, he didn't like slam his body, mostly his legs. And of course, this is where the ground just like cracks, or it was already a crater. But yeah, this is where both Might Guy and Naruto are smiling. But yeah, this is where Might Guy says, This is where he hears a ring and all that. Yes, it was a timer. And this is where Might Guy says, It seems that you need to go and train by yourself, Naruto. I need to train Sanjin Lee also. This is where Naruto falls to the ground, and of course his green glow disappears. And of course Naruto says, "I guess you do." It seems that you have to do that. Sorry about taking some of your time. This is where Might Guy says, "Of course not, I'm fine with it. Besides, I want to see all my students success in strong taijutsu." So yeah. This is where, well, Naruto says, "Yeah, I guess so. Thanks." This is where Naruto ran off, and of course he was doing right now just running. And of course, where, well, my guy says, yes, keep doing that with your spirit of youth. This is where Sanjin Lee appears. Of course, this is where Sanjin Lee, she has, well, mostly training clothes. She has like this purple, what's it called? Like, kind of like purplish pink tank top. And of course, these like tight leggings, but yeah. And of course, she is having her hair in somewhat of a ponytail. And of course, this is where she says, so, my guy. This is where my guy says, hello, Sanjin Lee. Let's see, now our training. It's where Sanjin Lee kind of felt embarrassed for a second. Like someone was kind of looking at her, well, body for a second. This is where Sanjin Lee says, my guy? This is where my guy says, huh? Oh. Huh, it must be a pervert or something. But I know what to do. This is where my guy appears, saying, leg of divine punishment. This is where he kicks, axe kicks Jiraiya in the head. Jiraiya smashes to the ground. This is where my guy says, haha, do you feel disturbed yet or not? Or do you feel undisturbed? Or do you still feel disturbed? This is where, well, Sanjin Lee says, not disturbed. I feel okay now. This is where, well, my guy says, it seems that this pervert must have been here. He seems like Kakashi, my rival. I actually might have killed him. But don't worry about it, he might be okay. I didn't kick him that hard. So, let's go into another training ground. This is where, well, Sanjin Lee says, yeah. This is where, well, Sanjin Lee was training, of course she was sweating. Of course, this is where my guy says, so, this is the 5th gate. Let's see if we can unlock the 5th gate. Garu already is at the 6th gate, if you want to know that. This is where Sanjin Lee heard it. And this is where she says, I see. The only, why my guy is telling Sanjin Lee why Naruto's at the 6th gate mostly, is to kind of motivate her. My guy noticed that Sanjin Lee is always trying to keep up with Naruto, so yeah. So of course, this is where my guy says, oh, 5th gate of limit. Power exploded from him, a green chakra color. And of course, this is where Sanjin Lee nodded. This is where she goes into exploding power. This is where she managed to unlock the 5th gate. And this is where she starts training with, my guy. This is where, well, my guy is seeing that she is strong in the gates also. But Naruto has more potential in the gates. The reason why is because every time Naruto feels the pain, he doesn't give up. He gets more motivated. Sanjin Lee, her body does hurt a little bit, but of course she doesn't care. She wants to get stronger. So yeah, and try to surpass Naruto, even protect him. But she knows that Naruto has 2 reincarnations inside him. Meaning that he is the reincarnation of Morty, but also the reincarnation of Gato. Naruto is right now, even though he's training and running and doing push-ups and all that, he's also training in different techniques in the Taekwondo. So of course he's doing recoilless kick, triple kick, yeah, triple recoilless Taekwondo kick. He's doing other techniques, even like no sword style, but yeah. Of course, this is where Naruto is doing all those because he got memories of Mori. And of course, he even is training with the staff to expand, stand, and shrink, but yeah. But other than that, Naruto's also using Nimbus to use the lightning to hit him so he can get more endurance into lightning, his body. This is where Naruto's doing it, and yeah. This is where, well, we go into the final, well, with the final day. Of course, this is when Sanjin Lee, she already managed to master 6 gates, but Naruto actually managed to unlock 7 gates. And also close to 8 gates. This is where, well, my guy says, I'm proud of you students of mine. And even Rock Lee, it seems that you managed to also unlock 5 gates. This is where Rock Lee was kind of healed. Thanks to Naruto, even though Naruto doesn't use, well, chakra or anything, the QB kind of tried to heal, well, Naruto's wounds and all that. And Naruto did grab, well, he cut himself, like, one time he experimented, he cutting himself, like, a really huge gash. And of course, where the QB had to heal him, because, yeah, the gate of the 5 element seal was broken. And also the elements, well, what's it called, the normal seal was broken. A little bit shattered. More power was flowing out. This is where Naruto wipes the QB power into Rock Lee's, like, legs and all that. And of course, this is where the Nine-Tailed accidentally also healing Rock Lee. This is where, well, the Nine-Tailed was pissed and annoyed when Naruto doing that. he's kind of wasting his chakra to heal another person's chakra. This is where he says, oh, god damn it. But yeah, this is where, well, Rock Lee managed to unlock 5 gates, Sanjin Lee 6 gates, and Naruto 7 to close to 8. But of course, this is where my guy has told Naruto never to use the 8 gate unless it's serious situation. At that point, I hope you never use it. This is where Naruto nodded. Sanjin Lee knew that the risk of the 8 gates, but this is where she's thinking that Naruto might use it in occasion of battle if ever gods ever appear. And this is where she's wanting Naruto not to do it. She kind of develops something towards Naruto, even more in when they train. Of course, Naruto, he has still a green tank top and all that. He would have wear what's it called, the green spandex, but of course he realized that it's kind of deflects his movement and all that from his actual like taijutsu and all that. And of course, decided to only wear a green tank top. Well, not green tank top, mostly not tank top, like the green kind of shirt, long shirt and all that. And of course, he wears also his what's it called, white pants and black sandals. But yeah, of course, my guy says, but I hope all of you do good in the final training exam, okay? And that goes for you, Naruto, also. Naruto says, I got this, don't worry about it. I'll definitely win everything, even against, well, Battle. This is where, well, I didn't explain what Battle's training was. Battle's training was nothing but hardship. Of course, trying to make him get stronger and using, well, his bat to flow, like his kind of swinging it. Of course, Sayana actually did ask her father to kind of teach Battle about how to swing a sword and not just a bat. But mostly Battle kind of used it to kind of swing his bat and not use his sword. Which the clan kind of just saw how strong Battle is with a bat instead of a sword. And see how he can kind of make the swordship, the swordsmanship into his kind of bat style. And of course, Sayana was also trained in her swordsmanship, but yeah. This is where in her own style, but yeah. This is where, Battle also had his own style. This is where, one time we go into a flashback. Sayana was kind of eating at the kind of like place and dinner and all that. At mostly the table and all that. And her father kind of made a precarious situation with Sayana and Battle. This is where Battle had kind of a reddish face, and Sayana also had like a reddish face. This is where she was screaming at her father not to make comments like that. Even her mother was also screaming at him for being so stupid and tense for saying that, but yeah. This is where, Battle and Sayana looked at each other, but they were blushing. But yeah. Of course, they look away mostly. So yeah. Of course, we go into the final day, but yeah. Of course, it's now, the final, tunings. And of course, this is where they get into the final tunings. And this is where Battle is there. Wearing a red shirt, a long sleeve red shirt, black pants like original Canon, and mostly One Punch Man, and of course having his hair jet black, kind of like slick all the way back. This is where he has his bat on his back, but mostly has it in a bag somewhat. And of course, this is where, he is just having it like a backpack. So yeah, this is where next to him is Sayana. Sayana has her sword on like to the left of her. Mostly to the left of her. Of course, this is where it's strapped on into the sheath and all that. And of course, she actually made another blade. She actually kind of, not made another blade. She found out another transformation of the blade, the true transformation, when she was training. Of course, this is where, she found out a little bit about the powers, but yeah. Of course, next was Sanjin Lee next to her. Of course, her hair was into a ponytail. And, not ponytail, mostly long purple hair. Of course, where, she was kind of like smiling, getting ready for this whole event and all that. And of course, where she was wearing mostly, so she's kind of wearing mostly a purple kimono. And of course, this is where, she had showing her kind of purple eyes and her long purple hair, but yeah. And yeah, so she kind of has like long purple hair and yeah. Yeah, so purple hair, and, kimono purple. This is where Sayana was wearing her kind of battle armor, like a samurai, but yeah. This is where, next to Sanjin Lee was Naruto, and Naruto was having his black spiky hair, but also his kind of white silver hair. And of course, it worked. Well, he was kind of smiling, having his kind of like shirt be a long shirt, well, long sleeve shirt being black. Of course, white pants and like, well, not white pants, blue pants, like what Morty Jim is wearing here. And of course, boots are actually, well, black, just like these, but they're blacks. Well, the black color of what Gato wears sometimes. This is where Naruto, he actually unlocked more things about, instead of just using one staff, he's using more than just one staff. He's actually having, he has, all the other staffs kind of behind him, so yeah. This is where Sanjin Lee realized that Naruto finally unlocked those staffs. And this is where she's smiling because she's going to really try to defeat him. This is where, she knows that she might not be able to defeat him, but she is going to try. Now, of course, Naruto is saying, so, are we going to begin the show now? This is where the proctor says, yes. Of course, it's the same proctor from the preliminary rounds, but yeah. He didn't die because, Kawato was never there to kind of talk to Baki because he died. Thanks to battle, but yeah. But this is where, the proctor said, okay, let's begin. This is where everyone started beginning. This is where Naruto and Battle become first. And this is where they start, throwing blows. Punches, mostly. This is where Battle pulls out his sword and starts kind of swinging it around. He's kind of trying to hit Naruto. This is where Naruto is almost getting hit by the bat. He's managing to dodge and twist and then punch Battle in the face. Battle gets pushed back, but this is where Battle kicks Naruto up in the chin. This is where they start clashing in punches, but yeah. This is where Sayana says, go Battle. This is where Sanjin Lee says, go Naruto. Or Gato mostly, or Morty. This is where, they both look at each other and they both kind of have the question, why did you kind of cheer for them? This is where Sanjin Lee makes the point saying, no, it's just because he's my friend. And he's my teammate, right? This is where Sayana does the same. This is where Uncle say, sure, you girls can kind of try to make that excuse, but I know why you two said it. This is where they were confused and saw Uncle. Uncle's with Hawking, and Hawking has Haku right next to her because, yeah. This is where, Haku says, very interesting. I've never seen Young Love. This is where Hawking was looking at Naruto. And of course, this is where, she was really blushing how Naruto is looking like. Because Naruto did grow more muscles. And this is where Naruto started kicking at Battle and all that. This is where, they keep fighting. And of course, this is where they punch each other in the face. Of course, pushing each other backwards. This is where Naruto says, so, Bat Boy, wanna get serious now? This is where Battle says, I thought you would never ask. This is where they're smiling evilly at each other. Lightning is crackling around them. And of course, this is where everyone says, what are they talking about? This is where Tarusen says, it hasn't even been 5 minutes. How long has it been? This is where Nambu says, 1 minute. Fuck. Okay, all of you gonna have to prepare the, start preparing into fixing the whole arena. And yeah, this is where, also mentioned the Raikage was there. The Tsuchikage was also there, kinda. This is where he was just there because he wanted to see his daughter perform because yes, Kurisuke did pass. So the Mizukage was not there. And this is where, the Kazekage was there. And he was still planning to betray Konoha. He just didn't know when. And this is where, the Raikage says, what do you mean repair the stadium? The Tsuchikage says, 2 kids aren't going to do that much damage, are they? This is where Hiruzen says, you haven't seen anything just yet. Let's just wait a couple more minutes, or right now. This is where Naruto says, Battle! This is where Battle says, Garu! This is where they rush to each other in blinding speed, clashing in the middle. This is where Battle swing his bat, sending it with so much terrifying power. And this is where Naruto swings his fist straight towards the bat. This is where the clash smashes together. A shockwave appears. This is where the shockwave kind of blows almost everyone's hat that was wearing in the stadium. This is where the Tsuchikage's hat almost gets blown away until he managed to grab it. This is where the Raikage says, holy shit. What are these kids? They're not fucking, Genin. And this is where Harusen says, "That's a good question. I don't know what they are." This is where the right Kage and the Chicago says, "Dot dot dot. The fuck you mean you don't know what they are?" Well, one of them is named Garu Mori. He is one of the strongest taijutsu users for right now. He's only a kid and he's already learned, well, something very powerful from my guy. That I wish I never taught him. Or wish I never taught him. And Battle is someone that only uses a bat. Now, of course, they use no chakra. And you will find something interesting from Garu. This is where they say, well, he's the Nine-Tailed Jinchuriki. He doesn't use the Nine-Tails power. This is where they go, dot, dot, dot. The fuck you just tell us this information for? Because, well, every time he's kind of close to death, he kind of gets a power boost. And it's not the Nine-Tails. This is where they say, huh? Wait, is that even impossible? For Garu, yes. I don't know how. He killed Uchimaru last time, an Esric ninja. Also another Esric ninja named well, not Kakor. Kazu? No, let me say that, yeah. He killed an S-rank ninja named Kakuzu. That's from, well, a missing ninja from, well, the waterfall. And, well, he's been killing a lot of people, so good luck with your village if you try to attack my village. This is where the Raikage thinks that, well, Harusen must be bluffing. He would never tell us that he's the Nine-Tailed Jinchuriki, and there's no way in hell a kid can come back from death just to become stronger. This is where Naruto says, and Naruto's smiling because he loves to throw a battle. This is where, well, Metal Bass also loving to throw a battle. This is where, well, Metal Bass smacked his head with a bat just so he can have more anger. And this is where he's saying, I won't lose this time. This is where Naruto smiles and says, good, because I want to try this form. This is where Naruto says, oh, 6 gates of view, open! This is where a green aura appears, and this is where the Raikage knows what the fuck that is. That is the 8 gates of death, and he's using the 6th gate. This is where the Tsuchikage goes, This is where, well, the Kazekage goes, huh? This is where Orosa says he wasn't lying when he said he's almost unlocked the full fucking master of the gates. This is where Battle says, interesting. Then let's see who's stronger. This is where Battle rushes at, well, Gato. Now, I should mention one thing. Battle, he has the willpower to keep up training and all that. But also, Mike Guy wanted to see how strong Battle is with the gates. So, of course, this is where, well, Mike Guy decides to see if he can unlock any of the gates without feeling pain. Of course, Battle can actually unlock 5 gates. This is where Battle saw the strength and sees that the speed actually boosts him up. And this is where Battle says, you know what, 5 gates of opening. Well, mostly 5 gate of limit open. This is where his power boosts up. And this is where both Naruto clashes. Both of them clash in thin air, clashing any shockwaves. And of course, going in such a Mach speed. This is where they both clash, punch, and just connect so many attacks together. Of course, this is where, well, this is where they keep going. And of course, this is where, well, the walls of the stadium is kind of shattering and breaking. And this is where both of them are just clashing, breaking the walls. Of course, Battle is sent into a wall. This is where Naruto was also sent to a wall. But this is where they keep getting up and punching each other like it's nothing. This is where, well, Battle and Battle and Gato are right now fighting. This is where they say, yeah! This is where Battle swings his bat in terrifying power. This is where Gato managed to deflect it by using flowing water crushed rock fist. Flowing let me say that again. Fist of flowing water crushed rock. But yeah, this is where he deflects it, and of course keeps fighting against Battle with that. This is where Naruto sends out the staff to extend and starts fighting against Battle like that. And of course, both their attacks are clashing. And of course, this is where Naruto says, extend! This is where Battle gets pushed back because, yeah, Naruto had it straight towards his chest. And this is where he shrinked it back. And this is where he punched Battle in the face. This is where they keep clashing, and yeah. This is where Naruto says, "Battle, Garu." This is where the last punch they hit each other in the face, and this is where the shockwave between those punches send them back flying, well, further from each other. This is where the Proctor was confused and was about to say something until a big ass explosion happened and pushing the Proctor away, hitting him into a wall. This is where, well, Hiruzen was confused. Was that Naruto or was that Battle? This is where people with red clouds appear. And this is where, well, Hiruzen was confused. And this is where all of them are wearing red clouds. Well, black cloaks with red clouds. And of course, he sees Itachi in there, Kisame. He sees a lot of S-rank ninjas. This is where Obito is kind of like on top of a stadium. And this is where Jiraiya tries to fight him. And this is where Obito says, "You cannot defeat me, Sonny." This is where Jiraiya says, "I can always try." This is where he sees the S-rank ninja seeing white in his eyes. This is where Pain says, "This world shall know pain, almighty." This is where Naruto appears saying, "Shut the fuck up and get out of my way." Kicks, Pain so fast, like kicks him right in the head, sending his head, flinging it off his body. And this is where all the Pains were shocked. Nagato lost connection to the Diva Path. This is where Obito widened his eyes. Naruto is still in the 6th gate, yeah. This is where, well, Battle is also in the 5th gate, and this is where Battle says, "It seems we have company, Garu." Garu says, "Exactly, and they're pissing me off." This is where, well, Battle says, "Yeah, they are really pissing me off." This is where all of them gets ready, mostly the S-rank ninjas. A bunch of ninjas are trying to get, well, the civilians out of here, and this is where the Sound and Sand ninjas started attacking. Yes, after the Akatsu's attacked, they thought that was a signal, and they started going just attacking. This is where Pain, one of the Path of Pain, summon out animals to fight against Battle and Garu. And this is where they are mostly going after the Nine-Tails. They see that the Nine-Tails is such a threat. And this is where Naruto is fighting against the animals, punching and kicking. And this is where Naruto is actually fighting against the other Path of Pain. Battle is fighting against Kisame because Kisame pulls out his sword to swing at Battle. Battle blocks it with his bat. This is where he appears right in front of him, swinging his bat at, well, Kisame's stomach. This is where Kisame gets hit with a terrifying amount of power. This is where Kisame needs somehow how to heal him, but yeah. This is where Itachi goes up to Battle. This is where Itachi appears, saying, "Tsukiyomi." This is where he puts Battle in the Tsukiyomi, and this is where Itachi says, "You are not able to move for 72 hours. This is where Battle is using his willpower. Battle is saying, "Oh, no, you don't." He heard of the 6th gate. This is where he heard of it from, well, Garu. This is where he says, "6th gate? Oh, Bill, open!" This is where the 6th gate kind of exploded into red instead of being green. This is where his willpower is putting onto that, well, 6th gate. This is where, yes, the kind of Tsukiyomi shattered into him into pieces. Itachi was bleeding, and this is where Itachi is like, ugh. This is where he gets hit by the bat. This is where he managed to dodge, but this is where one of his arms gets fucking torn off. This is where he winds his eyes. This is where Battle is swinging it like a sword style. This is where, well, he managed to cut. It looked like he cut, well, Itachi's arm off clean, but mostly ripped it off because he's swinging it like a sword. But yeah, this is where Battle is saying, "I'm not going to lose." So yeah, his own willpower is putting onto this, well, 6th gate. But yeah, this is where Itachi says, "Damn it, I can't believe someone broke out of the Tsukiyomi with just his willpower. This is incredible and bad at the same time." This is where, well, other people are fighting against the other Akatsu members. This is where Hidan tries to attack Battle because he saw the nearest kid. And this is where Battle swings his bat to clash with Hidan's scythe. And this is where Hidan's scythe clashes with the bat. But this is where, well, the blades of the scythe is actually breaking. This is where Hidan winds his eyes. And this is where Battle breaks through the blades of the scythe. This is where, well, all 3 blades shatter. This is where he don't wind his eyes and say, "What? Impossible!" This is where, well, Battle swings his bat straight towards Hidan, smacking him in the head, sending his head across the home, almost across the forest, almost landing in the Mist Village. But yeah, This is where, well, Itachi wanted his eyes, that power, that terrifying amount of power. This is where Naruto is fighting against the sixth path of pain. This is where one of the pains managed to absorb his chakra. And this is where God was saying, damn it, move. He tries to punch him in the head, but this is where the pain takes trying to keep absorbing him. This is where Hinata and Sanjin Lee says, Naruto! This is where they both jump down. This is where Uncle says, no, you too. This is where Sanjin Lee goes into a mode and actually seals off one of the paths of pain's chakra away. Mostly the animal path. And this is where, mostly Hinata tries to attack the path that was trying to absorb Naruto's power. And this is where God was like, Sanjin Lee, not to move. This is where, before they were able to get closer, this is where multiple papers appear with explosion seals. This is where, Hinata and Sanjin Lee widen her eyes. Yes, Konan is there. She's trying to get the other path, mostly the Diva path, back together. But yeah, this is where, boom, they explode away and blew up farther. They get pushed back into a wall and smashed there. This is where, the Diva path was back into able to kind of be put together by, Konan's paper. But yeah, this is where Connie was seeing her mother, and this is where Connie said, Mom? This is where Konan says, get back to the village. This is where Connie nodded. This is where she told her kind of, she wasn't there. She was mostly kind of back at the Rain Village, but yeah. Because she was actually wanting to go towards the Konan to kind of destroy, but Konan kind of just like denied her, but yeah. This is where, Naruto sees both Hinata and, Sanjin Lee to the wall. And of course, this is where the Diva path appear, saying, you shall know pain. That's where he stabs multiple rods into Naruto. And this is where Naruto sees battle fighting against Kasami and even Itachi and even, mostly Hidan and the others. And mostly the others. Deidara and Sasori are right now attacking the village. Of course, this is where the Tsuchikage is trying to protect his daughter. The Raikage is also trying to protect his, mostly his Kumo ninjas. Harusu is trying to fight against him, and this is where Naruto sees all this commotion happening. This is where Naruto says, no, you bastard, what the hell did he do to them? This is where the Diva path says, this could all been avoided if you would have come along with us. But it seems that is impossible. So, there's only one thing for me to do. This is where the Diva path pulls out the ghetto statue and was about to seal the 9 tails into it. Just put it in there, even if he had to get the 1 tails and other tails later on. He knows that Naruto's a pain. This is where he starts trying to take out the 9 tails and sees that the gate was loosened enough, so this is where the 9 tails was taken out of Naruto. This is where Naruto coughed up blood and was actually passing out. This is where the Diva path says, okay, we got him now. This is where Obito widens his eyes and says, yes. This is where Jiraiya says, no. This is where everyone says no. Battle says no, and this is where he gets hit by Samahara. This is where some of his chakra got absorbed. This is where Naruto was close to death. Very close to death now. This is where everyone is screaming no, and the Diva path says, almighty push. This is where everything gets pushed back, and this is where Naruto is in the black void. This is where Naruto says, I guess I will never meet death, but I am here. That's where Garu and even Morty says, so you're gonna give up like that? Naruto says, huh? Oh, I knew I was a reincarnation of you two, and I didn't know you were two gonna be here. This is where Garu says, don't give up, you idiot. You're my reincarnation. Don't be an idiot. And this is where Morty says, yeah, like you see here. You got all the memories, the power, and all that. You just have to use it properly. Get it? You're my reincarnation. And you're my reincarnation, Garu says. So, use the power you have and destroy them in an instant. This is where, the Diva path was saying all my push, but this is where, Obito and Black Zetsu attacked him and kind of ripped out, the Rinnegan, and Black Zetsu kind of stopped them from actually using Diva. He did use Almighty Push, but stopped him from actually, not Black Zetsu. Mostly Obito attacked Nagato because he knew he was alone, but yeah. And this is where Obito revived, Madara, with the Renny Rebirth, and of course this is where Madara appears, having the other Renegon, and this is where Madara is now at Konan. Well, yeah, not Konan, Konoha. This is where everyone sees Madara, and this is where, well, Madara says, it's time to see if I can use the now Ghetto statue. All the other Path of Pain, they all lost connection, but yeah, Konan widened her eyes, and this is where she said, Nagito! This is where, well, Madara says it's time for all of you to die. This is where, well, I should also mention one thing. The other Chinchurikis, like the other Tail Beasts, they were actually captured by different white Zetsus and black Zetsu told them to bring them all here. And this is where all the, well, Tail Beasts were actually extracted with the, well, Ten-Tails. Well, not the Ten-Tails, the Ghetto statue, because Madara is now in control of it. And he actually extracted them all. Even Gar's. And this is where Tamari says, Gar, no! This is where the Kazekage is trying to use his golden sand, but this is where he gets defeated by Madara. This is where Madara says, pathetic. Now I will show this world the power of the Tsukiyomi. This is where he lets the what's it called, Ghetto statue become the Ten-Tails, and this is where he becomes the Ten-Tails Shinjuriki. This is where he becomes now Machubi Madara. This is where he laughs and says it's time for the infamous Tsukiyomi. This is where Obito smiles and says, I get to see Ren. But something happens. Naruto's body was under rubble. This is where Battle was really hurt, but of course he didn't care. Sanjin Lee and even Hinata were pissed because Naruto's dead. This is where something happens. Under some rubble, this is where Madara was confused. And this is where Madara says, why do I hear kind of like a theme song? So, yes, a theme song is playing in the background. And that is, well, so what he hears in the background is just this. But yeah, he hears that in the background, and this is where everyone is confused until rubble underneath breaks. And this is where a black figure appears. This is where he becomes into this monster form. But of course, this is where the, mostly his hair spikes up. And this is where he gets out of the monster form and then transforms into something more powerful. A galaxy form version of his monster form. This is where, well, he transforms into that. His eyes might be just red, but it shows to be a galaxy color of, more Jim's eyes. But yeah. And of course, he opens them. And this is where all they see is a galaxy monster form of it. Battle sees it and says, oh shit. They fucked up now. This is where Madara says, what the fuck is that? This is where Obito says, wait, where's Naruto's dead body? This is where everyone is confused. Wait, where's Naruto's dead body? And this is where Naruto says, it seems I've finally been rebirthed into my true form. I'm going to murder you and rip you apart. Naruto said in such a deep, cold-ass voice. This is where Madara says, and how can you... He gets hit in the stomach so hard that he widens his eyes. He sends into multiple continents. This is where he is just launched. Obito sees this, and Obito tries to use combo, but Naruto grabs him from the arms, breaks him, and then grabs his Sharingan and rips it off. This is where Naruto rips off his head and starts beating his ass with his own head. So yeah, this is where all the other Akashi widen their eyes. This is where Naruto appears below him and sees all the Akashis and starts fighting them. This is where Naruto says, fists of flowing. This is where Naruto says, fists of killing. Well, let me say that again. Killing God, fist of monster destruction. So yeah, he does that attack and he kills all of the Akashis in an instant. And also, well, basically Hidan was gone, so of course Hidan's dead body was already just obliterated. This is where Black Zetsu winded his eyes. This is where Black Zetsu was on Madara, of course, and this is where he managed to stab him, tell him that Mother must be coming out. This is where Kage appears after taking over Madara's power, and this is where Kage feels that power. She can see the omnipotent power that's flowing off of Naruto. This is where she gets scared. That's where Black Zetsu says, Mother, what is happening? No, I shouldn't go against him. He's stronger than me. This is where Black Zetsu says, are you sure, Mother? This is where Naruto says, Yummies, well, not Yami. He says Yamiti's. Well, he says 1900. This he says almost all the numbers. Ice pick this. Well, ice pick, fire pick, water pick, other like lightning pick and all that, or like stats appearing from Kage, smashing her to the ground. So many stats are right now in part of her body. So many. This is where she wind her eyes. This is where Naruto. He is right now walking to her with this brutal power. Just so powerful, brutal. This is where Naruto grabs her and jumps up in the sky. And this is where Naruto is saying. This is where Naruto. He sends, Kage up in the air, bringing back all his staff towards him. And this is when Naruto says, Gamma Ray Blast! Blasts Kage into nothing but just smithereens. That's where Naruto, he smirks. Not just the Gamma Ray Blast obliterate, Kage, but Naruto send the Gamma Ray Blast straight towards a specific direction that Naruto wanted to get rid of before it becomes a problem in the near future. He sends him very far away. This is where we go into somewhere that's, Utsutsuki goes up to its lord and says, Utsutsuki King. It seems that we found This is where all Utsutsukis and the Utsutsuki planet and the kingdom was obliterated in an instant. Yeah, Naruto destroyed them all. Well, even being there. This is where, Naruto, he just lands down to the ground in his galaxy mode, but of course transformed out of his galaxy mode, back into his human form. But of course, before doing that, he heals everyone extremely fast. Even in his god power, he can actually heal everyone in an instant. Everyone that died got revived back. This is where Hiruzen saw Naruto's power. This is where so many people were start bowing down because they thought of Naruto as a god. This is where he also got rid of the 10 tails, but also obliterating the different 10 tails Jinchurikis. Not 10 tails Jinchurikis, the different Jinchurikis, but they all transform into chakra and appear into orbs right in front of Naruto. This is where Naruto, he puts him back into the different Jinchurikis. Well, not put them in the different Jinchurikis. He let them go free and put them in different places. But this is where Naruto revived all the different Jinchurikis. They were actually put to be sacrifices, but now they're revived, but they don't have the power of the different Topis. This is where Naruto appears, sees Sanjin Lee and Hinata, and hugs them both. This is where, Naruto says, hey, you two are okay, right? This is where, Sanjin Lee blushes, and even what's it called? Hinata, but yeah. This is where Baru says, I never thought that you were going to use that form for good. I thought you were going to say you're the fear and destruction of this world. Naruto says, you're not wrong. Maybe I This is where Sanjin Lee punches him in the head, saying, idiot, don't you dare do something stupid like that. Naruto smiles and says, I'm just kidding. I would never do something dumb like that. This is where Hinata glares at him also. But yeah. Of course, this is where, the Akashis are obliterated. The Utsutsuki's near future are obliterated. But this is where Naruto senses someone else, another Utsutsuki. This is where Naruto says, wait, let me do something real fast. This is where Naruto disappears in his galaxy mode, appearing right in front of, what's called Amado and even Ishiki. This is where Naruto grabs Ishiki and crushes his head in an instant. This is where Amado winds his eyes, and he was still building his, androids and all that. This is where he says, hold up, wait. This is where Naruto says, no hold up, no wait, fuck off. Bah! He blows Amado's head off, just as destroying him in an instant. He sees the different androids, and they're still barely even built. They saw Naruto's power. This is where one actually appeared, this kid, who tries to attack Naruto. Naruto grabbed him and killed him in an instant. Well, any killing intent, because that's Damien, I think so, or whatever his goddamn name is. Elder tries to attack Naruto, but Naruto obliterates her in an instant. Elder could not keep up with Naruto's goddamn godly power. And the last one was Code, and Naruto killed him in an instant. But yeah. And Code was still somewhat of a kid, but yeah, Naruto just didn't give a shit. So yeah. So Naruto came back to Elite Village, but yeah. But we go into a time skip of them being 20 now. Well, mostly a 10-year time skip. Naruto has actually became, the most feared person in the whole entire, planet. They also call him a hero somewhat. People actually call him an anti-hero mostly, but yeah. But Naruto's okay being called an anti-hero. he has 2 kids that he kind of married. Well, not 2 kids, mostly 5 kids in total. One is from, well, Hinata, who actually, the kid has whitish kind of purplish hair, like lightish purplish hair. And of course, this is where he has pale eyes. Now, there's other 2 that has kind of purplish hair, but black hair highlights, and another one has like purplish hair, but white highlights. This is where from Sanjin Lee, and the other 2 are from Tamari, mostly having the same kind of hairstyle as, well, Naruto. Now, of course, Naruto has, well, those 5 kids. Of course, they are all extremely powerful in their kind of like taijutsu, but yeah. Now, of course, Naruto did know that he could have easily transformed into, well, the other forms, but he knew that going into Galaxy Awoken form was overkill. He could have went into his like final monster form and defeated all the beings in one go, but he wanted to get rid of them before they became a problem in the near future. So of course also the planet has become more peaceful, like less people are trying to attack anyway because Naruto's strong as fuck. Battle has also become the second strongest. He is considered to be dangerous as hell also. But of course he did marry Sayana, and of course they have 1 kid that's actually, well, interested in using a sword and a bat. And of course this is where Battle's sister has also, well, she became kind of married to the family, but yeah, into the samurai family, because yeah, Battle's kind of, yeah, related to her, his sister, so yeah. So of course this is where, well, Sasuke, he was kind of thrown in jail because of his unstableness, but yeah. But other people were kind of just living peacefully. The Hokage for the Hokage position was thrown onto Kakashi. It was legit just thrown onto Kakashi. Kakashi was confused. He was actually considered to be Hokage. He even tried to throw the Hokage onto Naruto, and Naruto said, fuck that. The Kazekage became, well, Gaara still, and other people became other Kages, but yeah. Now, the Mist Village kind of civil war was defeated by Naruto because, yeah, he destroyed the, well, Yagure mostly. Or Yagure was kind of absorbed into the Kettle Session. But of course, he no longer has the 3 tails, but no longer wanted to be the Mizukage. Instead, gave it to, well, Mei. And Mei gave it to Chojoro, but yeah. So, of course, the world is peaceful now. And of course, this is the end of this what if. Yes, what if Naruto decides to only train in Taijutsu? This is the end of that what if. So yeah. But other than that, have a nice potato day, potato night, potato seed, potato. And yeah. This is the end of that what if. But yeah. Bye bye and potato and good night. But yeah.